Um, but yeah, thanks from bear with us. We don't have everybody this time. But we're gonna answer as many questions as we can. But let's sort of jump into it. So with us, you don't see me, but you can hear me. Hi, this is Young, not on screen. That's Gillis. Working on the stream and that sort of stuff. So yeah, this is Young with the community team, but we're gonna do our regular intro that we usually do. Gabe, go ahead.
I am Aeolus, also known as Gabe in real life. I'm part of the community team. I answer questions, I help with events, and some of you have probably seen me around on the Discord and in your streams.
Let's do Onum next.
Hi, I'm Autumn. I'm part of the partnerships team and operations team here at Trovo. You probably have heard from me through email or Discord, and I also work with social media.
Perfect. Alan?
Hi, I'm Alan, or Stone Crypto. Work on the operations team alongside Autumn and Diego. Mostly work on the Trovo 500 and the org partnerships.
Wonderful. And Diego.
Hi, hello. This is Diego. Yeah, I'm from the operation team as well. Very happy to be here. It's another community night.
Perfect. But yeah, like we said, we had a form you guys can fill out and answer your questions. So for the first hour, what we're gonna do is go through, answer a lot of the questions that we have on the form that we can't answer for all the team members that we have here. And then the second half we'll be playing Fall Guys. So from 5 to 7. So for the next 52 minutes. We'll be doing questions and answering some afterwards in chat if we have time, because there's a lot. And then afterwards we'll be playing Fall Guys. So that was the sort of schedule here. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and sort of open up with a few things. There are a lot of stuff that people asked if how already been talked about that we can answer for you. So first one is from MacOB. He asks, will there be any kind of multi-screen streams on Trovo, streaming in something else? And I believe we talked about that last time, and co-streaming is coming. I don't have an exact answer for if it's going to be multi-screen, but I don't know if Diego, you know anymore.
The streaming. So I mean, the product team is working very hard actually to to offer the best creator experience on Trovo. So to stream, for example, to stream directly from the Trovo app on the mobile. And also, co-streaming are always the features that we're working on very hardly, trying to bring it out. I mean, as soon as possible. That's something we think will enable creators to have more ways to create more interesting content and to share the excitement with the community as easy as possible. Yeah, I mean, there is still no timeline for that, but that's we are happy to say. I mean, it's one of the core features that we are working on very hardly at this moment.
Good to hear. Actually, yes, we can kind of go back and forth here, Gabe, if you want to.
Sure. So there's quite a few different product questions, and unfortunately, our master of ceremonies, Irene, who does all the big product questions, is actually really, really working hard on a couple of different features that Trovo is going to be having soon. So she's unable to be here with us tonight. But we do have, some information on a lot of these questions. So a lot of them have been answered in the past. So such as, will there be additions to chat mod operations asked by Mako? So just 10-minute, 1 hour, 3-hour mutes, purging certain messages. Yes. So a lot of these features are currently in the works. We adjust features and add them into development cycles based off of your feedback. So the more feedback that we have about a certain desired feature, the faster it'll get into the platform, because we very much want Trovo to be based off of community feedback. We're very much, it always talked about being grassroots. We never want there to feel like there's a divide between the streamers and the developers and, the community team, product team. So you just have to tell us what you want and we're going to work on it. So Trovo is still very young. There's a lot of things that we want to continue to work on, and know that there are a lot of things that are currently in the works. Another additions to that would be are we going to be able to, this is from Fivoix, sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly, cash out gems to our accounts, be able to raid, partnership badges, profiles, beta removed from their logo, and just Trovo only. These are all things that we're currently working on, and as soon as we have exact dates and times and additional information, we're going to be able to let everybody know. We don't want to tell you an estimated ETA like, oh, maybe around the 16th they'll be ready, and then it not be ready on the 16th and kind of let everyone down. So when we are really sure that something's ready, it's been tested, then we will let everybody know. It's not that we're hiding things, it's just, development and coding things can just be trickier than we expect sometimes.
Yeah, we're working on all of those things right now. So one of the reasons why Irene couldn't make today's call is because she's working on the payment process right now. We're trying to have it ready for this month, mid-month.
Actually, hold on, guys, 1 second. I think my audio cut out, so I'm gonna rejoin just a sec. It's on my end. It's not on your guys' end. Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Big fix. Okay, we're back.
If you want to go ahead and re-say everything you just said, Alan.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. So I was mentioning that Irene, who usually joins the call, she's one of our product managers. She's also working on the Cashout system and feature that I know everyone is waiting for. It's in the process of being tested. She's testing it right now. So that's also one of the reasons why she wasn't able to make today's community night stream. But yeah, we're working on all these things. We're trying to not set certain hard dates because in like the development timeline, a lot of things typically get pushed back. So we're trying to, I guess, set proper expectations, and when we let you know it's out, we want to make sure that it's ready for everybody to use. But it's being tested right now. We're aiming for this month, but yeah.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, what was I reading before? Just to answer the specific of when would we be able to cash out gems in our accounts, again, there's not a specific date, but rather it's in testing heavily right now, and that's something we really want to try and push out because we know people have gems and things kind of sitting in their account and they're trying to wait for that. But again, it's in heavy testing with X amount of users. I think it was either between 15 to 50. There's definitely a product team question. But yes, it's in heavy testing right now. We're trying to get it ready as soon as possible for you guys. And yeah, like to reiterate what Aeolus and Stone Crypto said, things are heavily, being developed, and we don't want to make false expectations of, oh, we're gonna have it released at this time when maybe it's not ready. So again, when things are in, for certain, we'll say what we're working on, but we won't have an exact date unless we know exactly when we're gonna release it. I think that's the biggest sort of answer for that.
Especially anything
I'd like actually also add on the the cash out thing, the feature here. So that's one of our top priority at this moment. We understand it's one of the the most important feature that we would like actually to bring out actually for everyone. But the cashing out feature is not only something that we do on the Trovo side. We're working with our business partners as well. So we are actually building up together. There is API system, so we'll be enable streamer to cash out their gems, as quickly and as easily as possible. We are working on the best experience that we'd actually be able to offer. In this feature, and even though there is not an exact date, but we're targeting as early as possible, and we're rolling out the feature to a very small group of test streamers at this moment. And we're happy to say until now the feature seems good. At least I think for almost 90% of the testing streamers who have claimed a cash out and have already got the money. So we are just checking the bugs and making sure if we expand the how to say the scale, and it won't actually have actual problem, because this is something we're extremely careful about, because it's a jams. I mean, in the fashion, I mean, it's a most important thing we think that we don't want actually for a lot of bugs here. So we want to fix it, and we iterate it. I mean, as we expand the streamers or the users, I mean, the access to this feature. So basically, it will you will need to first, I mean, the monetization feature. When you're opening up that, you will go through a process to I mean, to offer the information needed actually for taxing, and there will be a process to verify this, and after it is verified, then we'll be able to cash out. There was a limit for each cash out, but there was not a but basically you'll be able to cash out the gems in 1 day or 2 days. We're working on the process to make sure. There was another, I think there was an article already there on the Reddit for the process, and if you have time, you can go on that. I mean, the article to know about the details, and also it is very appreciated if you leave any feedbacks or question there. We'll be working on, I mean, answering and offering anything that we think it will be beneficial or helpful in this case, to make you understand the process.
Right. And just to reiterate what Alan said, it's planned currently to be out this month. That is what has been said a few times. Alan said our goal is to have it out this month. So as soon as we have an exact date, or if that changes, we'll be sure to let everybody know. But this month is what we're aiming for right now. We just don't want to promise that it's going to be out on the 16th and then it not come out on the 16th because it got delayed. So just so everyone's made aware. And again, anything involving money is really important that it works correctly. So we're going to be hypersensitive on making sure that when it involves your guys' hard work and your hard earnings, that you are able to get it correctly, and there are no too limited issues and no major issues. So again, coming hopefully this month.
Yeah, and the options that you'll be able to select, you'll be able to do ACH to your local currency or PayPal as well. So you get to choose which options you want to do. I think Diego mentioned 2,000 is the daily limit. I think the minimum amount is still set at $50 US, and you can cash out pretty much every day. That's the plan. But we're working on testing out the whole process to make sure it works smoothly. If there's any bugs, we're going to try to fix them with our during this testing process. Any spelling errors, or if things are working properly, we want to make sure they're all fixed. But yeah, the goal is this month. It's looking good so far. I think the couple other questions that were asked by, is it Fivoid?
I'm gonna answer one that I saw someone ask in chat, and it's also one of the questions someone submitted is FAQ updates in the Discord. Yes, so we've been a little bit busy, and sometimes there, things get pushed back a bit. But yeah, Discord updates are coming for the FAQ, so hold tight for that. Okay.
Raid hosting and raid feature, that's planned for this month. But we'll probably have more information on that during the next community night. But that's already being worked on. It's already in the pipeline, and it's something that's been scheduled to come out relatively soon. The Trovo 500 partnership badges, you should already see them on your profile, and the beta to be removed from the logo and Trovo only. Maybe Diego, you can answer that. When do we plan to remove the beta, you think, from the Trovo site?
Oh, this is a very hard. I mean, this is a very hard question. So the removing the beta here means we going very officially. I mean the going out the beta. time. So we're still working on a lot of features, as the chat is mentioning, and also our streamers giving us a lot of useful feedbacks and asking for the features. We'll go. Taking out the beta once we think the experience on Trovo is kind of like complete or as complete as possible, that we are be confident to say that is already then very official product. But at this moment, I think there is a lot of things we need to do, a lot of things features we need to add, and we're excited. About this process because we think it's a growing path. It's a period of time that we think and we need to spend on. To making sure the features are ready and there will be a complete or a very standard service and experience here. So that's we like to take that on and as soon as possible, but we still think it is important at this moment to working on things that we think still is not perfect as at this moment. Yeah.
So that's actually similar to another question that I saw about advertising. I'm trying to get the exact name. Yeah, Larry Too Wild. Is there any talk of Trovo advertising the platform on a larger scale? So essentially right now, all of our growth has been organic, and we've grown leaps and bounds over the past few months. And right now we're continuing to plan. Diego and I were actually just talking about this. Planning to continue to grow organically for now, because like Diego said, there's a lot of things that still need to be worked on. There's a lot of features that still need to be completed. There needs to be a lot to finalize for the program before everything goes ahead and we start mass marketing and appealing to everybody. But Diego said he had some ideas. He's had some things planned. I don't think there's much we can share with that right now, Diego.
Yeah, not at this moment, but yeah, I do like. Daniel mentioned about the organic growth thing. So basically, we care at this moment. So the team thinks we need actually to to work on to build up the community here and making sure that the community that's active and core as possible. So making sure so everyone join Trovo will feel like home or feel like this is the platform they want. So we're very careful about the the plans and also the campaigns that we are gonna to do in the market. As a to market. To market this platform to trying to get new audience or on the larger scale. That's something definitely in the plan, in the roadmap. But at this moment, we are focused on the organic growth. We're focused on the viewers, the streamer, especially the streamers. So in the coming weeks, we are will be there will be special plans and special campaigns actually for getting more streamer on the platform. We're thinking about with the streamer growth plan that is mentioned on the last community night, and we'll be able actually to reveal more by the end of this month about the streamer growth program. And we're thinking about more ways and incentives actually to attract more streamers. I think it's important to to invite more people actually to hang out in this community as gamers, and we do think this is something that it's very important at this moment. We stay as organic as possible, and for the larger scale campaigns and marketing investment, it's definitely on the roadmap. We'll be rolling out that once we think it is a proper time. Yeah.
And go ahead.
Okay. I think we mentioned in the past the offline events, and Autumn is working on that. Are we allowed to go into more detail about that? I know there's probably no offline events this year, but we're we're already planning for next year's events as well. I think that can probably still count as some marketing or advertising.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. That's definitely something on the radar for us. Honestly, it's just kind of like watching to see who's still hosting an event, if it's still even possible, obviously with the current climate right now. But we would love to do an offline event, maybe even a Trovo meetup. Anything that we can do is something we're definitely looking into.
And since we're talking more about sort of organic growth, obviously social media plays into that. And we already have some different initiatives that we're starting on social media, right, Autumn?
Yes.
Can we go into any details? We actually released one recently. So we're starting to highlight specific streamers and specific categories for specific games. So we want to obviously support our community members as much as we can and highlight people that are streaming certain content, so people know that if they go to Trovo, they can see their favorite game being played by X streamer. So these are all things that we have planned. Creating assets just takes time. And there's also offline, not offline, but out of game community events we're looking to do. So one we're going to be starting up soon is just some video content type events where clips get posted to social media, retweet, share, people can win, gems and prizes and things like that. So there's a lot of different things that are not directly like paying a company to run an advertisement for our platform that we're planning on doing, which counts as an organic. So when we're talking about organic versus non-organic, it's literally like, are we paying an organization to advertise for us, or are we doing things on our own? So there's a lot of things that we want to do with our own platforms and our own social media to gain more visibility. The most of the stuff that we're talking about not doing yet is, paying Fox to run an advertisement for us, for example, things like that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good explanation, Gabe. But offline events is something that we're definitely considering doing, and Autumn is working on that. That's kind of a little bit separate from like paid media, but as Diego mentioned, organic growth is what we're going to try to do while we focus heavily on launching all the features and making sure Trovo is the best it can be before we start putting it in front of a massive amount of people.
And I think now is a really good time to also start answering some of the Trovo 500 questions that we have. We know that there have been some questions. We've got them here on a sheet, so we're going to sort of go down the line. One is from Saint Valentine. Hello there, I'm from Brazil. I'm partner on Trovo 500. I want to know if in the next month I'm going to be off Trovo 500, and yes, will I be partner without Trovo 500? So we put out a notice just recently that people from the regions of Brazil, India, and Vietnam will unfortunately not be eligible to the Trovo 500 program in September. So this month they're allowed to be in the Trovo. Everyone's allowed to be in the Trovo 500 program. So starting next month, the people from those regions, due to a non-compete clause, will not be eligible. We're going to be very open upfront about this. It's unfortunate, but it's one of those things where it's sort of out of our hands with the non-compete clause. So while that's the case, the other part will be, will I be partner without Trovo 500? Everybody from every region all over the world, and correct me if I'm wrong, Diego, will still be able to get subscriptions and gems from their community members. So that's not changing,
that's true.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
a little bit more. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Diego.
Oh yeah, a little bit more. I mean, updates on that. I mean, basically, I mean, for those countries, I mean, for streamer from those countries, if you are already in the Trovo 500, so if you are already on the platform, it's still eligible. So basically, we're not able to accept more new streamers in there. I mean, from those regions. So I found many questions asking about if they are already on the platform, it's still okay. So that's the because we don't want actually to we're not in a situation and you think that we've already wasted all the time building up the community here. So basically, even though we're not be able to accept the new streamers from those countries, we'll still be able actually to keep those already on the platform eligible for the coming Trovo 500 programs.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
So if you're already in, you're grandfathered in, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're already in, you're grandfathered in. Otherwise, the statement still holds.
Got it. Awesome. Cool. So if you, like we just said, if you're currently in the program now and you've been before this announcement, then you're good. You can continue to apply for the Trovo 500. It will just be starting in September. No new streamers from those regions will apply to the Trovo 500. Great. Another Trovo 500 question is, any thought to, so this is from Channel Zero, any thought to expanding the Trovo 500 into a regular partner program outside the hours pay bonuses? So we're going to be continue to expand and reiterate on our different programs and platforms. So we have the streamer growth program, which we've talked about a few times, but there's no information on what the Trovo 500 may evolve into in the future. So, Diego, did you want to touch on that anymore?
Yeah, I mean that's a general question. I mean, so yeah, I'd actually to mention a little bit more specifics. I mean, I see in the chat many asking if the hours for the next month are going to be, another big jump as for this month comparing to the program in July. So basically, even though we're not be able actually to announce the benchmark for the next month, but there is something that we can say that it won't be, as a big increase as the previous one, because the previous one is the reason, the major reason is that, the platform growth has been very impressive, but this the coming month we've noticed, we think it's very important actually to keep the consistency, to making sure that people, our creators are, we're taken care of. It's not always a, such a big change here, so we understand the value of that. So it won't be that kind of scale change, so please, don't worry too much about that. It could be a little bit of small increase in certain tier. We're still working on to find out the best, the best data to the structure for the program, but rest assured that it won't be that big of a jump.
Right. Another question about the Trovo 500 that we've gotten. It says 6lack_Shinobi, but I think the 6 might be a B. So I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I believe it's Black Shinobi. Are you guys just picking the first 500 people you see for Trovo 500, or how does the picking process work? So it's not just we pick the first 500 people that we see based off our hours and go down the list. Like, okay, Excel sheet, here's 500 names, slash it, here you go. The Trovo 500, there's two different sides to the Trovo 500 to keep everything as separated and objective as possible. So we can see all the number and all the data for all the different streamers on our side. And then also on the development side, that we actually have a security system in the background that monitors for suspicious or weird activity. And so, Diego, can I go further into this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that looks for specific weird activity, basically. So anyone that might be trying to use viewbots or game the system just in sort of some way, so that we can monitor and have it so that people that are invited into the Trovo 500 program should be in the Trovo 500 program. We're actually going to have more information coming out very soon about this. It's going to be written and documented. So I don't want to give out too much information about that right now until everything is approved and we're good to go and we have all the right information on a page for everybody to read, and it's crystal clear. But also, we also put out something about the Trovo 500 where people were confused about the groups they were placed into, and they had like X amount of stream hours. Like, I had enough stream hours to be in gold. Why did I get placed in silver? It's very much that these hours for each of the tiers are benchmarks that we see from our backend data. But when we're starting to look at everybody's numbers, there are a certain amount of slots for each group. So if, say there's 10 slots for Masters, if those top 10 slots fill up, even though you hit the benchmark for Masters tier, those slots are filled. So you will be then considered for Diamond tier. And that's why you may be put into a different place than you would have thought you'd be put into. Also, with the document about the Trovo 500 and these frequently asked questions that we have, we're going to be letting everybody know the average hours, so the top and the bottom hour for what people got to be in a specific group for this past month. And we'll be doing that monthly so that you'll have a much better idea of where you stacked up compared to, other people in your group stacked up kind of thing. Our objective and our idea is to be as completely transparent with all of this as possible. We don't want to have any hidden numbers being like, well, I hit the benchmark on the Trovo 500, estimated projections, but I didn't get into the Trovo 500. What happened? We want to show, like, for silver, these are completely made up numbers. These are not legitimate numbers, just so it's very clear. For silver, you needed 200 hours at the baseline and 1,000 hours at the top. And everybody that got in had those hours somewhere in between. I mean, these are going to be like basic guidelines. So, well, I got 200 hours. Why wasn't I invited? There may have been someone who had 201. There may have been someone who had 202 that got in ahead of you. There's a lot of factors when it goes into that. And then there's also stuff that we see on our back end. So anyone that's trying to game the system, anyone doing something weird, we're constantly looking at these things. And we're always going to be improving and making the system better to give the best possible objective and fair experience for everybody who's working extremely hard to get into the Trovo 500. So, did I do a good job explaining that, Diego, Alan? Anything to add?
No, that was pretty good. Just to summarize what Diego said in regards to the increase in hours, the Trovo 500 program is not meant to be like impossible for people to achieve. It's still very, very achievable. For silver tier, that's currently about 10 average viewers at streaming 20 hours a week, and you'll hit 800 watch hours. And the threshold for getting into silver, the minimum required was 800, and there are people in the program with 800. And we expect the program to grow alongside with the community's growth as well. It's just that from the end of June to July, when we announced the program, the community was at a smaller size, and at the end of July, the community was already 10 times larger. So we had to make sure that the program reflected the growth of the community as well. But we're trying to maintain stable growth. This way, we can also manage the community in a fashion that's good for the community as well. Fast growth is also great. But yeah, we're working on stable growth, and the program can grow stably alongside of it, and everyone can grow within the program as well. So we're not expecting any massive changes to the Trovo 500 from month to month. We want it to be gradual, as Diego mentioned. And on Gabe's note, we want to maintain the integrity of the Trovo 500. A lot of people are working very hard, and there's some people that are working, very smart, not in an honest way. And in order to maintain the integrity of the program, we have certain mechanisms in place to kind of detect anything that's not like honest hard work. And there's also a kind of a wall between this communication where our team on the back end that's reviewing this information is not kind of they're making sure that they're not communicating to us how the system can be gamed. This way, we're not available to communicate to you guys how you can game the system. That's unfortunately it may be a little bit difficult for some people that want to know, like, if there's some type of suspicious traffic on your account, but it wasn't because of your doing. We unfortunately don't have the information to tell you what was being done to your account. But a lot of these people that have suspicious traffic, they probably know exactly what's going on. So we also can't tell them either, because if you tell them XYZ, then they know exactly how to game XYZ now. But we're doing our best to maintain the integrity of the program to make sure that this program is fair for everyone involved. And we do separate out the traffic as well. So there's people that have X amount of suspicious traffic, we still do collect the honest traffic as well.
Yeah. And then so there's sort of a lead off question with that, which has been brought up quite a bit in the actual one here on the sheet. My TEO or my TO, however you want to say it. I've seen a lot of questions regarding how lurkers are counted and how many streams you can watch at once and still have your view counted for each. Can you speak to what changes have been made or being planned for viewership calculators? So basically, this is a lurker question, which a lot of people have been asking about, and I think we can kind of touch up on that. Is that correct?
I mean, what we can say is that we want to reward people. We want to support streamers that are trying to support each other, but at the same time, if you're supporting like 1 or 2 streamers and stopping in their chat, you're there hanging out with them, talking to them simultaneously, that makes a lot of sense. But if you're supporting 20 streamers and you're not even at your computer, that's not honest support. We're trying to distinguish between the two. I don't want to like give too much more information, because then again, it just allows people to game the system, but that's hopefully that adds enough clarity.
Yeah, I think it does. No, I think it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that's totally fine to say. We want to reward people who are supporting their favorite streamers. We're not going to. We don't have details, and we are always going to be on the lookout at people potentially trying to game the system to keep the integrity of the Trovo 500 secure. That is a extremely important, not topic, but priority to us. So always giving us feedback on the Trovo 500, feeling upset about the Trovo 500. Like, we understand that people are passionate in the Trovo community, and it's okay to be upset. We're not trying to say that we are perfect humans. Okay. So if you have feedback, if you have anything you want to talk about, I mean, my DMs are always open. I am flooded with DMs, and I try to get back to everybody I can, but it may take me a day or two. But feel free to answer any questions. If I have the information, I will give it to you if I'm allowed to. If I don't have the information and I can get it and I'm allowed to give it to you, I will. And that's the same for everybody else here. I'm sure they're willing to say the same thing. So we know that everyone's working hard, basically, and we want to make sure that the Trovo 500 reflects the people who are working hard and maintains its integrity.
Yeah, and because we understand how, again, passionate and everyone wants to make a living off streaming, and it's understandable of why people can have concerns and questions, that sort of stuff. But yeah, we still get flooded with questions, and even if we don't have an answer for something, we're gonna do our best, see if we can get something approved and given over to you guys. Doesn't mean we're ignoring you, and doesn't mean that we're doing all that. There's also others hoops like that you have to go through and jump through. But yeah, let's see if we got some other time here. We're getting late on questions. We have 16 minutes left, because we always run these for about an hour. So if we have time and it sort of slows down, or from the sheet, we'll start taking some from chat as well. Yeah.
Are we going to get more spell points going forward? Because the spell points right now are limited to a certain amount. So spell points are something that we're still working on. So we want to have a free currency that people are getting just for watching their favorite content creators or supporting their friends. There's a lot of different things we have in mind with spell points. Like, based off your certain amount of spell points, you can potentially have certain benefits and be able to do certain things. But right now, the system's still being flushed out and worked on. So as we have more information about exactly what we can use with spell points, we will continue to provide that information. But no, it's just a currency that we want to develop and expand upon. We put it on Trovo because it's the beta, and we want to make sure that it's working correctly as we add more systems onto it. So just so that's clear. And we have a whole entire big article on elixirs and spell points. You can see it in the Trovo FAQ for any additional questions on that.
I think we got one for...
Well, subscriber-only emotes be coming to Trovo. Customized emotes are something that will be coming to Trovo. Again, we talked about it a little bit in our streamer growth program, but as your channel grows, 20 followers, you get a sub button, and then as we get additional numbers, you know, say for example, this is not legitimate, but for example, you get 50 followers, then you get 1 custom emoji slot open. 100 followers, then you get 2 custom emoji slots open. But that is something that will be added to streams, along with customizable widgets at the bottom and windows that should say who you are, how people can follow you on social, channel banners, all those different things. These are all things that we're still working on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna touch up for a second as well, make sure I'm unmuted and everything. We see a lot of everyone's questions and comments in the chat as well, and a lot of the time we usually put out some sort of notification or some sort of document in the Discord or Reddit or wherever, saying, you know, a big feedback collection, feedback loop of what people are thinking and sort of our thoughts and what we're doing to work together to make the community happy. So even again, if something's not read out, you don't hear your question read out today, or you know, your comment in chat, you can always leave your feedback in the Discord as well, and we can always try and get back to you there.
Yep. So we went over quite a few things, actually. I think we got through just about all of our questions. Oh, any short-term plans and reworking the discovery page? Any more details on the day of a life in a warden? So these are 2 actually great questions given us by Yeti. Short-term plans for reworking the discovery page. I know that the discovery page and just sort of the layout is something that's always going to be looked into and worked on. So yes, do I have details on what it's going to look like in the future? Not right now. Alan, Diego, did you have any more information on potentially the discovery page or what's going on with that?
For the discover page, it's always we feel like it's always an obligation for us to, you know, to provide as much, you know, discoverability as possible, to making sure people will be having the chance to be, you know, on the first page or on the front page, or get their, you know, people. So on the user side, we want to, on the viewer side, we want a viewer can easily get, you know, get access to the content they love to watch, or they probably gonna enjoy. And on the you know, streamer side, we like actually to making sure the you know, the resources is not overly, you know, concentrated on the top. So we are, you know, continuously working on, you know, recommendation algorithm and also ways, and we think will be actually increasing the discoverability for streamers at all levels. So what we are doing right now is we are, you know, consistently monitoring the performance for the current Discover page to see where the point that we can improve and where is the possibility, and how does the you know, the new recommendation algorithm, how we're gonna, you know, fit in the current system to making sure that it will be a better, you know, experience on the Discover page. Yeah, that's an important thing that we think, and we are continuously, I mean, working on that.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Diego. When it comes to the Warden's question, that's actually something I can answer. So the Warden's program is currently, we have over 300 applications to the Warden program. So first of all, I just want to thank everybody for caring so deeply about Trovo and wanting to keep it a great environment for everybody, and a safe environment for everybody, where content is for all of us to enjoy, you know. Secondly, we're currently working on going through all the different applications and interviewing candidates. So as we have more information, if you're interested in the Warden program, please submit an application. If we have an interest in potentially utilizing your services for the Warden program, we will contact you directly. But currently the Warden program is still being put together. We're hoping that the Warden program will be up and running and good to go by next week. We're going to start with probably around 10 Wardens and grow from there depending on the growth of Trovo. And again, we want to thank everybody for being so awesome about this and for wanting to help us. But that's where we're at with the Warden program. As we get more information, we'll be sure to let everybody know. And when we are at where we feel is a good place for Wardens, we'll let everybody know. And if it becomes a need to have more wardens due to growth, we will also let everybody know. So that's where we are on the warden programs.
Saw a question in chat from Old Crazy J about features for viewers. So a badge. I don't think we have a badge in the works, but we have custom donations that they can do and custom emotes. So that's
Awesome.
something custom for the viewers that they can get.
Right. So beyond the Trovo 500 and the streamer growth program, there's not currently other programs being developed right now, are there, Diego? At this time, like this instant.
For the
just in general, like other programs for like other categories, like you know, music, for example, for potential partnership, things like that.
oh, it's yeah, we are still monitoring the you know, the community we're thinking about. I mean, but we still, you know, as Trovo is a gaming community, we'd like it to stay that for a few longer, but we are you know, actively looking at any other, you know, categories, non-gaming categories, and yeah, I think that's something in the future, but not at this moment. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So just so it's clear, because this has also been a question that has been going around. Right now, there are no other programs that are going to be announced in the, you know, super near future. But it doesn't mean that we're not talking about them and looking at the growth of Trovo and seeing when, you know, more features are done, and if Trovo goes out of beta, you know, all of these different things, that we're not going to expand upon them and that we're not already talking about them. But right now, there are no other programs that we have information to give on besides the Trovo 500 and the streamer growth program.
Yeah, I just want to make clear that's not, we are, you know, discriminating other you know, categories. The major reason is that we, as a gaming platform, at this moment, we're still not perfect for, you know, supporting the gaming content. So basically, we want to, you know, make sure we are, you mean we're doing great for one thing first, and then started to expand it to other things. We don't want to be, you know, just the social in everything. We want to, you know, be as good as possible in one thing to start with, and making sure that this community is satisfied, and this community is you know, that's a mentality that behind. I mean, we want to make things perfect for one thing at a time. You know.
Right. So it's like Diego said, if this is the correct way of sort of making an analogy for Diego, is we're trying to make sure that we're not biting off more than we can chew right at the start. We're still still growing.
I like
we're
that.
Still small. We started, or correct me if I'm wrong, please, Diego. Trovo was started to become a platform to stream gaming, and essentially overnight, Trovo turned into a lot more than just a streaming gaming platform. So the Trovo 500, when it was created and its inception, was when we were very much focused on gaming content. That's why gaming content is for the Trovo 500. Like Diego said, we care about all of our content creators. That's why we want to make sure everybody has the ability to have a subscription button. That's why we want everyone to have the same sort of unique rewards for their platform, like with the streamer growth program. We do not want to hinder anyone's growth. It's just, for right now, the program that we created was for gaming content. And as we have more information, and as we continue to grow, and as we get better, because there's still things that we can improve on for the Trovo 500, we'll be continuing to let everybody know. Does that sound pretty good, Diego?
Yeah, I mean, as a, you know, as an initiator of this platform, and together with a lot of, you mean, streamers here, so we still remember actually the so it's the initial idea that why we are doing this platform. We think there is a lot of more, you know, bigger platforms and places that you can enjoy a lot of different kind of content. I think that's a lot of, you know, options there in the market. But for Trovo, we want, I mean, at least we still remember the beginning, and we think it is important actually for a community like this. I mean, want the, you know, if gamers or streamers thinking about Trovo, you think about it's a gaming platform, and it will be very. I mean, especially at this moment at the beginning, we are very we feel obligated actually to serve the core audience and making sure it's a place that we can enjoy the games we play. I mean, there is a there is a possibility. I mean, in the future for this platform to grow, and as other platforms maybe to grow into other non-gaming categories, but at this moment we think it is still very crucial and important actually to serve the the gaming community well, and we don't think there is a the platform have been doing this for that kind of wholeheartedly. So that's why we think we it's kind of like our obligation is something in our vision, and also in our mission to offer the best service to gaming streaming, and that's something I think it requires a lot of work. It's not a decision that for a platform, for gaming and content platform to go into that kind of a different content strategy in just a couple of months. It's not kind of like a responsible manner. So we think it's very important to concentrate it. We appreciate the feedbacks, and also a lot of streamers and the viewers mentioning there is interesting content. We understand, but still it's an obligation, and it's a responsibility for us to serve the the core audience, serve the gaming streamers well. I mean, to begin with, that's something we still remember from the first day ever that we think about to build up this platform.
And thank you, Diego. Really appreciate it. And on these community night streams, we may have information or comments that seem blunt, or we may have comments that feel like we're trying to quote like dance around the question. The ones we're blunt on, we just want to be as open with communication as possible. We're never trying to be hidden with anything. And the ones that may potentially seen as we're trying to dance around or like wishy-washy on, is because we genuinely don't have the information for it right now, or we're still talking about it and we don't have any legitimate details. As soon as we have information that we're allowed to share with everybody, that's finalized and good to go, we tell everybody. So
yeah, we could just, let's just be honest here, we could lie and say, oh yeah, yes or no is gonna happen, but we just don't want to do that. Don't want to give out wrong info. That's just wrong. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
But I do have one question. Actually, Pygos has asked a pretty good one here that I think we can also, if we have an answer to. He asks, do the Trovo 500 requirements, maybe we answered this before. Do the Trovo 500 requirements stay the same with this fundamental change on the platform of tabbing being combated or not? Definitely see less viewers and pretty much all the channels site-wide right now. So he's asking, and I think we maybe answered this, that the requirements do change month to month, but he's asking are they going to be going lower?
Yeah, I mean, the requirements are always going to be based off of the overall data that we have on the back end. So it's, I mean, Alan, you can talk about the data more than I can probably, but it's pulled directly from what we see for viewership and, how many streams have X amount of viewers, how many streams have Y amount of viewers, right?
If you're talking about the streamer statistics, yeah. But I think what Pygos is talking about, he's talking about for this month, not for moving forward, because we've already made it clear that the program does change month to month.
Right.
If he's asking if it's going to change this month, it's not going to change this month. So whatever tier that you've placed into, you're in that tier. It's your pretty much responsibility to try to hit those requirements. It's what you've worked towards and have gotten accepted into. So yeah, the August numbers are not, we don't have any plans to change them.
Got it.
Yeah.
September numbers, we'll try to release them as soon as we can. I mean, ideally, we'd like to release them at the beginning of August so you can prepare to achieve the requirements for September. But we have to review all of pretty much July's numbers and then part of August numbers to figure out where we're going to stand when September gets here. So that's why the numbers will probably come out towards the middle of the month.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll just put it in as well, is that if the numbers are set and the new month starts, those numbers are going to more than likely just stay that way. Obviously, before the month starts, we have a lot of time to go through and adjust and stuff like that. But yeah, each month you'll have set ones, and they do fluctuate up and down. But they're set for the month. So if it's halfway through the month, so let's say we're in August now, August numbers are not going to change. September's numbers, we have all the time to change that before the month actually happens.
Cool. All right, 6:01. We're a minute over. If everyone wants to sort of run through everything and say goodbye, I know there was a lot of information. I know that we talked a lot, but I think it was good, and hopefully we answered a bunch of the hard-hitting questions that the community had as a whole. Just a note.
One more question.
All right, never mind. Go for it, Alan.
Yeah, sorry. Just wanted to address that. I saw Killer Penguins asking about having some type of permanent partner program, and I know a lot of people have asked about having some more stability. I mean, we're trying to. One of the things is we're not trying to copy exactly what all these other platforms are doing. We're still trying to be Trovo. We're trying to learn from, I guess, the different experiences that we've seen that the market has not taken well to, and only providing opportunities to the top 1%. That's something that clearly doesn't work well. And we've also noticed that partner programs without any type of real incentives to the partners don't really add any type of meaning either. So we're trying to bridge that gap between a partner program, a rewarding partner program, and a system that can actually be something that everyone can use to sustain themselves as a full-time content creator. That's why there's also requirements and a base incentive and bonus as well. So it may be something that's a little bit different and also unique to Trovo, but I don't think it's a bad thing. If you have a partner status on another platform, but you're unable to support yourself as a content creator, I don't think there's much benefit to that either. So we're trying to find a good bridge between becoming a partner, having meaningful value as being a partner, and being rewarded as well.
Yeah, I have one more that we can touch up on. Juicy Jones asked, and this is reiterating back to the hour fluctuation between months for the Trovo 500. Will you ever decide to lower them? You threw that out there, but I need an explicit confirmation. It's kind of what we said. We don't know in the middle of the month. Like, things could change. Let's say we have explosive growth in the middle of the month, and right at the end of the month, numbers completely shoot up.
Or if we lose half our streaming bases, the numbers will go down.
Yeah, there's no hard set number that we're gonna know in the middle of the month, or especially now it's the beginning of the month. So if we're talking about for September, it's just an example. Right now we have no clue. We're not gonna be able to make a proper judgment now. It depends on how the month progresses and what numbers look like. I thought
we just answered that one.
We did. Confirmation.
It's just yes or no from the mouths of us, which is fair. It literally is based off the performance.
Is it going to go up or go down?
Yeah, is it going to go up or is it going to go down?
We're trying to grow every single month.
Yeah,
that is the plan. Like we're trying to have stable growth on the platform every single month, and with stable growth, we're probably expecting the program to stably grow as well. If there are some more like flat months, then perhaps the program won't change too much, but we do plan to expand the program as well. So there may not be increases to the program, but the program may still grow.
All right, cool.
But yeah, so we're going to still stay on schedule as much as possible here. And again, thank you everyone for being as civil as you can in chat. It's just, again, we're here to try and communicate with you guys. We don't want you, we understand people are very, again, passionate and they want things on the platform, but please just keep it civil. No one here likes being, talked to in the way that you've seen some comments in the chat. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, we're here to try and communicate what we know with you guys and be here for you and tell you guys what's going on. But please just keep it civil. Don't be cruddy.
We know that these conversations aren't always easy. There's going to be a lot of questions. There's a lot of emotions. We want to make sure that we're saying the right things and not misleading or giving wrong information. Things that we say, we may think that it is answering the question properly, and it's not answering the question properly to you, and that's okay. Like, we all have different ways of communicating things, but you guys can be mad at me all you want. That's totally fine. I'm happy for it, but yeah, don't be mad at each other. We're one community here. If you guys need to throw anyone under the bus, throw me. Young does it all the time. Alan too. Definitely throws me under the bus all the time.
Yeah, you guys can yell at us if you want, but just again, keep it civil. Let's be honest here. We're all human. We're all here to work together. But
we're
just
all
want to throw it
one
out
big
there.
community.
We're one big family.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, we're over time.
Yeah, we're gonna start winding down here, and we're
one more quick one.
Okay.
Alan, we're over the time.
This one's really quick. I saw someone asking about chatbots
it.
and stuff like that, and I
All right.
think we skipped over that. The API is being worked on. We don't have any official chatbots. There's some unofficial ones out there. There's unofficial chatbots out there, but there will be a public API available that you can use to set up chatbots and request access for soon. The goal is for that to be done very soon.
Cool.
Beats.
So no one go anywhere though, because while the question and answer portion is over, Young and I are going to be jumping into some Fall Guys.